Welcome everyone to your energy forecast for the week ahead of September 1st through September 7th. Okay, I'm going to go about our forecast a little bit differently this week, so you can let me know in the comments if it resonated with you. Before we get started, here's some quick programming reminders. I host a monthly gallery reading. It's completely donation based. So if you like what we're doing here on YouTube and you want to go even deeper, you want to ask more personal questions for whatever's going on in your life, then come to that. It's every second Tuesday of the month. It is at 6 p.m. and it's completely free. It's donation based. So you could show up, you could donate, you could not donate. I don't particularly care whether you do or don't. I just want to offer the support for people that need it. So if you show up to that, I will be live either here on YouTube or on Instagram. You can follow me over there at Julia Rose Portella. So I'll be live on both platforms at the same time, 6 p.m. I will read for 1 hour. So long as you show up during that hour and ask a question, I will be able to read you, hopefully. So if you have been interested and you want to go a little bit deeper, there's that. I'm also doing 2 workshops this month. They are integration workshops, and that's how we're going to focus today's topics and our energy forecast from now on. We're going to be, what is the invitation to integrate, okay? So I'm teaching 2 workshops. One is on the full moon which is September 17th, and that is also going to be at 6 p.m. It's going to be like a moon magic integration workshop and ritual, okay? You can register at the link below. I'm also hosting one the day before equinox. This is going to be an integrating your inner light type of deal. Okay, so if you want to join either one of those, the links for those are below. And then if you want to dive even deeper into your energy with meditations and astrology updates and live Q&As, please then join my Patreon. We dive deeper in there. There's journal prompts for new moon, full moon. There's meditations 3 times a month. There's all sorts of spiritual support goodies. I just want to get you the support you need. Let's dive in to our cards. I'm using the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. But those are our programming reminders. So I will do a better job at sharing with you what is going on so that you guys can actually join and be more informed. Okay, cool. So let's see what our invitation for this week is. What is our invitation to integrate this week? What are we being invited as a collective to integrate? Ooh, this card is standing out to me. Okay. Ooh, the rose thread. Inner call, soul-led, the mystic, living courageously. So there is an opportunity this week. There is an invitation for us to go deep within ourselves. This is all this inner peace and to trust ourselves. Even though it doesn't necessarily say trust here, the mystic, or living courageously, soul-led, all of that is letting me think that there is something about this week that is calling us to go within and understand our own intuitive integrity and prowess so that we can bring that out into the world and see how we're doing with it, okay? So let's see what the cards have to say. We'll talk about the astrology. We'll talk about how we can integrate. So on a day-to-day basis, if that is our theme this week, to be following our inner calling and to be soul-led and to be the mystic and to live more courageously, what do we need this week? Just heard 4. Okay. What do we need this week then? Okay, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Cool. Lots of reversals here, so lots of opportunity for pausing, stopping, and reflecting, which makes a lot of sense because we start the month out and the week out on 2 retrograde features, okay? So the card is quite lovely. For Sunday, we have the 9 of Pentacles, which means that if there is this opportunity to follow our inner calling, the 9 of Pentacles is like, and it could be lucrative. Do you want to monetize what you're passionate about? Do you want to monetize what your talents, gifts, and skills are? Have you been feeling more pulled in a direction that feels alternative? Maybe you work in corporate America, but you're being called to go advocate in a nonprofit or something like that. The universe rewards risk. And it's not necessarily that it's a risk, but there is something around moving beyond scarcity or disbelief when it comes to passion and purpose. You are allowed to follow your purpose and to follow your passion and to allow that to be the thing that supports you. In fact, now more than ever, on this very digital space that we live in, on Instagram, on YouTube, with TikTok, with Etsy, right? Like, it has never been easier to get the thing that you want to create out into the world. And I think you should do it with integrity, but that is this inner calling. It's like, okay, something's not working for you. And it might not be career-wise, okay? But either way, the Nine of Pentacles is a good omen of success. Now, it can be connected to money, but it can also be connected to stability. So if you've been engaging in a relationship that doesn't feel stable and you're like, know somewhere deep down that it's time to let go and you just haven't cut the cords yet, it's okay that you haven't, but this is about going within this week to that inner calling and trusting your intuition. I want to tell a story right now. Okay. There was no repercussion. So I don't know what would have happened. But what I do know is that your intuition comes very subtly. So I just snatched a kitten off the street. Okay. And it's coexisting in my house, but in a separate space than my cats currently are. I, as a preventative, bought flea collars for my cats. And I had a really bad experience a couple years ago where I had to give one of my cats flea medication and it burned a hole, like a patch of his fur off of his skin. And if you have pets, or if you just have a tender heart, or if you're just human and empathic to any degree, it literally broke my heart into a million pieces. So I bought them flea collars. I consulted a vet before I did so. And I put the flea collar on my one cat, Watson, who's not in here today. Normally he's in here with me and you guys probably are familiar with him, but I've booted him out of the room because he was being a little nuts today. But anyway, I had a flea collar on him and something was not right. His behavior was not right. His eyes didn't look right. He was throwing up. Like, I don't know if it was an allergic reaction. I don't know what was happening. Okay. But I do know that when I put it on him at night, I knew right away within like 20 minutes, something's not right, but it's foreign. He's not used to something on his neck. So I almost overrode it. Then the next day I was sitting at my computer working. He's zooming back and forth. He's like scratching at his neck. And I had the thought, it's beyond the uncomfortability of it being on his neck. Right. And then finally I went to work, I came home and I was like, I don't know what to do because I'm getting this intuitive hit that I need to take it off him. I took it off him and it was like he sagged into my arms and was like, thank you. And slept the whole night, like literally in my arms because I think he was just so relieved. And I knew intuitively it wasn't about something being on his neck. I knew that there was something deeper going on. How did I know that? I don't know, but I followed that inner calling. Just that subtle, it like knocks on the door. It's not bang, 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 let me in. Your intuition doesn't do that. Your intuition is more like, do you hear that? Knock, 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 knock. It's quiet, it's subtle, it's trying to get your attention. So whatever that, I'm feeling like this, but you might be trying to override it or trying to be pragmatic about it. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work. That's not what this week is about. This week is about integrating that intuition into your life and understanding where it could lead you if you just integrated what it is to follow those very tiny, subtle breadcrumbs that we get from our higher self or from the universe. Okay, so follow your intuition this week. There's also a snail on this card, if you can see all the way down here, which means you may heed the guidance of your intuition this week, that inner calling, but that doesn't mean that you're going to reap the reward all day one. You're not. Probably not. Some of you may. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't follow it. So pay attention to whatever that is this week. Same deal on Sunday. We have Uranus, which is like changes, shifts, innovations, that kind of energy, is going retrograde till the beginning of the year, January 30th. Okay. So, and this is happening in the sign of Taurus, which is about our stability and even our finances. So again, if you've been feeling like my job isn't fulfilling me, it's paying my bills, and I guess that's fine, but this huge chunk of my life isn't working for me. I want to make money off of my talents, my gifts, my skills. I want to go on a different path. I'm being pulled in this new direction. You don't need to understand the full of it. You just need to follow the breadcrumbs, okay? You can drive on a parkway at night for hours and hours, but your headlights only go 10 feet at a time, which means you are making slow progress again and again and again for miles and miles and miles. You need to just take the first step. So just trust that little inkling or whatever that is, especially if it is around restructuring your stability or restructuring or innovating your way into new avenues of financial security or emotional stability. Okay. And then also on Sunday, we have Pluto, which has been retrograde, will finally make its long trek back into Capricorn. This is the last time that Pluto will be in Capricorn in our lifetime. We will never be in this energy again. So Pluto is retrograde already. It's been retrograde in Aquarius. It will retrograde back into Capricorn, where you will be doing a life review on everything that has happened for you in the past 16 years since 2008, when Pluto went into Capricorn. So great time to know where Capricorn is in your chart. If you don't know and you want to know, you can join my Patreon. Okay, we talk about stuff like this over there all the time. We talk about the specifics of like how this energy is going to impact you. So if that's something you're interested in, if not, look up your chart and just see what house it's unfolding in. And so at least you can discern what area of life this is happening for you. And you'll be doing a review of what's happened in the past 16 years and where you've grown in the past 16 years and where you need to maybe button, zip, or tie something up before Pluto moves back into Aquarius, which will be on October 10th, October 11th. So trust yourself as you move through this. Do your life review, get yourself stable. Again, and maybe you're like, I don't know, and I don't know astrology, and I don't really care. Again, follow that inner knowing. Follow that inner knowing and be like, what has been my story for the past 15 years? What's been my story for the past 15, 16 years? Do that reflection piece and you'll be integrating a lot. Okay. That's Sunday. On Monday, we have the moon reversed, which is not an accident, a synchronicity. Perhaps it is because we have the new moon in Virgo. So this feels like, again, as far as the new moon goes, it's time to set or plant the seeds for something in our future. So this is a really good opportunity as far as that inner calling or the mystic or that very soul-led piece of ourselves, if you do that life review, or you start to think about on Sunday where you want to monetize your skills, where you want to create more stability, where you need to wrap something up that's been a part of your life for the past 16 years, if you do all of the stuff that we just talked about on Sunday, then Monday, you can actually start to plant the seeds that you need, especially because it's a new moon in Virgo, which is setting the details or getting the story straight about something. New moon in Virgo is like back to life, back to reality. It's like that back to school, which is really what I wanted to say, but that's the song that came out. So apparently that's what we all needed today. But it's like, okay, summer's over. Get the details organized. Get your binders organized. Get it cleaned up. Organize the details. Organize your calendar. Organize your house. So it's giving us a pathway on the new moon in Virgo on Monday, giving us a pathway to begin to organize the details of how we're going to integrate this energy, how we're going to create a plan to move forward with our dreams, our goals, and whatever has come up for us on Sunday. Okay, that's Monday. On Tuesday, we have Mars squaring Neptune. So Mars is in Gemini. Neptune is in Pisces. And this is a little bit of like an uncovering something under the surface type of deal. So Neptune in Pisces is very much the rose-colored glasses, letting our emotions get away with us, letting our fantasies and our delusions get carried away. And Mars in Gemini is this really sort of like brutal honesty. And I'm not a fan of brutal anything, okay? I'm not brutally anything. But Gemini is all embodied experiences. Geminis learn through the embodied experience. And Mars is wherever we get like a super dose of power or even frustration. So there's this almost like wanting to break free of that pattern that's underneath the surface that you're not necessarily seeing clearly, but again, intuitively that it's holding you back. So now you've started to put a plan together on making your dreams come true or whatever the plan is. It doesn't matter. But let's just say that you want to follow your passion, right? You want to follow your purpose. You want to follow your creative endeavors. But then there's a sub thought that's like, oh, but people don't make money off of their art. Again, I'm here to call that out because they just invited tons of creators. I think there was like a handful of like very specifically invited creators to the DNC. So the Democratic National Party just hosted creators, people that are creating content on TikTok and Instagram. And YouTube. So it is possible for you to achieve status and success in this very digital world. Okay. But there might be a sub thought, right? Of like, oh, people don't make money off of their art. Okay. Well, this Mars in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces is asking you to review that. The reason why money comes up for me is because the card is the Ace of Pentacles reverse, which means that there's almost this like, it's too good to be true. Like my fantasy is getting, you might even feel this way, like my fantasy is getting away with me. And fantasies could be good or bad. You could fantasize about being poor and broken on the street and it could come true. Or you could fantasize about everything that you're working towards being a support system for your greatest success. It is literally Neptune and Pisces doesn't care what the fantasy is. It's just going to supercharge it. So make sure that you're aligning with what you actually want on a soul level, because Pisces is also the priestess. And it's like, are you divining it or is it your anxiety? Okay, where can you break out of the stigma of your old thoughts, patterns, and ideas that are keeping you from actually having the thing that you want, which you've already decided on Sunday, started to put the energy towards on Monday. Now on Tuesday, It's time to get serious about the work that you need to do. Planting the seeds is not enough. Now you need to overcome the hurdles that are keeping you stuck in a reality that you don't want to be in, or pieces of a reality that you don't like. Okay? That's Tuesday. Wednesday, we have Mars moving into Cancer. Okay, so Mars in Gemini on Tuesday is like our last hurrah. Then Mars is moving into Cancer, and it will be there until the middle of or beginning of November. Let me look up the specific date because I'm not 100% sure. We've also got the Five of Cups reversed. November 3rd. November 3rd. So be in Mars will be in Cancer until November 3rd. Okay. Mars in Cancer is a little bit of a softer energy, but you may find that things in the family front, no coincidences that this is ending on November 3rd and election day is November 5th. If you have tough family, this is going to exacerbate things. Sorry, just be mindful of it. Okay. It's also an opportunity for you to, this says live courageously, which means there is a call to a certain degree to stand in integrity with your values and what you actually desire. Now, some of that could be political, like I'm picking up on because of just the dates, but some of it could be like your parents told you that you can't do, I'm going to sneeze because it's the truth. I'm sorry. That you can't do something. Clearly someone needed to hear that message because a sneeze is for the truth. Okay, so it could also be that somebody told you, your parents told you, oh, you can't go to school for that, or you can't do that because people don't actually do that. That's not practical. That's not pragmatic. Or they made you give up the thing that you actually wanted to do in lieu of something else to get yourself where they wanted you to be versus where you actually want to be, or something along those lines. Like, where are you living and defaulting into the expectations of others and not actually living courageously and following your own path? Sorry, that's a tough one, but where is that happening for you? Mars in Cancer is going to bring it out. And in particular, things around family and around the home space. Okay, so where you're feeling really restricted, restricted is not the right word, but heated or frustrated, because again, on Tuesday, you may recognize something, a pattern may emerge for you that you're now recognizing. And then it's almost like Wednesday, you're getting the gall or the, that courage piece to actually start making the shifts. And some of that is just saying, you don't need to tell everybody your plans, but if you have a crazy uncle who votes differently than you believe in, and all you ever do is stuff it down because you don't want to be difficult, you are not living courageously and you're not living in integrity with your values. If you've actually always dreamed of being a painter, but you went to school to be a surgeon, and all you're thinking about is how you can't wait to get home and paint. Hopefully that's not what you're thinking about if you're a surgeon, but do you know what I mean, right? You are missing then the opportunity to actually live in integrity with your, pay attention to that. And it can even drive up a little bit of grief or sadness. I'm not talking about encompassing grief or like grief when somebody passes away. I'm talking about when you realize something about somebody and those rose-colored glasses do come off and you see something for what it really is, or somebody for what it really is, and you need to cope with and integrate your sadness and disappointment around somebody or something. And it can even be with yourself. I'm disappointed in myself for letting this go on so far, whatever that is. Cool? That's Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, no particular spectacular astrology going on. So Thursday, we've got the Seven of Cups reversed. There is a decision that you need to make, but again, it feels like there's not necessarily the emotional stability yet. So just know that the decision is there, but not all the way ready to be. You don't need to make the commitment. You just need to be thinking about the choices in front of you and which you can even envision. If I walk down this path, if I walk down this path, if I walk down this path, How will it feel? How will it feel? How will it feel? And starting to see how that is going to bring stuff up for you. Okay? So there is an opportunity from the beginning of the week to the end of the week, or to at least to Thursday. There is an opportunity for you to see that you've almost been selling yourself short, that you're not necessarily living into the truth of who you are in full. And there is an opportunity this week to begin to pull those pieces together. But you have to do the work. Okay, so everything that we're talking about here, you have to do the work. So that is Thursday. Friday, lovers reversed. Okay, this could be a lot of different things. For some of you, it may actually be that the stability and everything that we've been talking about in the beginning of the week, that is in a partnership, and you're recognizing that the partner isn't the right thing for you, and some of the decisions that you need to make in alignment with your highest good is to let go of or separate from the partner. Don't do that if it doesn't feel good. Don't do that if you're not 100% ready. But that is for some of you. For others, it could be a business partner. Maybe you've been in business with somebody and you're like, they want to go in one direction, I want to go in the other, and this is like holding me back. It's tethering me. And I need to just follow my intuition with it. Or for some of you, it could be that you're recognizing in the beginning of the week what it is that you're looking for. This is going to create more stability. This is the life I want to live. And now you can begin to manifest that partner, whether again, it's a physical, romantic partner, whether it's new community in general, or whether it's a business partner. Okay? So there's an opportunity on both sides. There's an opportunity to release and an opportunity to call. And then last but not least, on Saturday, the 7th, we have the 6 of Pentacles reversed, and we also have Mercury, which is in Leo. So Mercury is the planet of communication in Leo, which I'm always like, roar, like the lion roaring. They don't do that anymore. Whatever that was, whatever, whatever studio network that was that had that big lion that would roar. That's always what I think of when I think of Mercury and Leo. And then that energy is squaring, so a challenge aspect. Uranus, again, that energy that we had in the beginning of the week. So we are coming full circle here with our Uranus energy that is currently retrograde in Taurus. So there is something about reviewing our confidence to speak up for the changes that we're looking to make. Again, that kind of came up already in the middle of the week too, but it's almost like a reiterating or solidifying it. Mercury in Leo is all about our confidence in our voice and our confidence in our sovereignty and our ability to speak authentically and our ability to understand our thoughts from a level of elevation that comes with Leo energy, okay? And then that Uranus in Taurus, which is retrograde, is still about our stability and potentially our money. So again, some of you, this is going to be nonprofit. This is a nonprofit card for me. Some of you, it's like you need to move in a direction that is actually helping, supporting, and guiding people. For others, this is going to be bringing balance to something that has not been balanced. And for some of you, the reclamation of your power via self-advocacy is going to come up, especially because when you have been denying your intuition in such a way, your inner calling in such a way, you've been delegating that power out to somebody, snatch it back on the 7th, okay? It's not fair. You have to maybe do it gently or maybe not, but see how you feel about it and who that person is. There is a reclamation of power somewhere where we have delegated our intuitive prowess decision-making or have overridden our own intuitive prowess in lieu of people pleasing or keeping the peace. So whatever that is, it literally came full circle. That is what you're integrating this week. You have reclamation of power through actually honoring that inner voice instead of denying it or delegating it. All right. So with that being said, make sure you take time this week to reflect on where you have been delegating your power, where you have been denying your own inner voice. When you can actually see it and confront it, the rest of